Welcome to our new Presents video. This is the return of the Presents content to On Wheels TV, and well, it's about two new tracks that are now part of the REIZA Bundle, the DLC that brings to rFactor 2 content from REIZA Studios that was so far only officially available in Automobilista. So obviously we are not going to comment on these contents as if it was a review. We'll just go along the video saying what we think, and at the same time mentioning how is this important to bring more quality and more realism to the amazing REIZA Bundle. So showing you TV cameras in now, and then also onboard cameras in the 1988 layout of Imola, with as you probably noticed, with some chicanes that are not used anymore, and also with the Tamborello corner that later was replaced by a chicane after the tragic weekend that took from us Roland Ratzenberger and Ayrton Senna. So we drove in this track, what we think is one of the great contents available in the sim to drive in tracks such as this one. So this is I'm driving the Minardi M. Let me just see closely, I don't want to make any mistakes mentioning this. I'm driving the Minardi M191 from the 1991 season. This content is available as Formula 1 1991. It's along with the Minardi, you have also 5 or 6 different cars, Ferrari, McLaren, Jordan, several cars, Benetton also, as you probably noticed already in the video. So several cars that are available for this specific content, and we decided to bring these cars to this video because we think they fit perfectly in this layout. They are also from more or less this era of motorsports. So the track is the 1988 layout. The cars are from the 1991 season. So in 1991 these cars in real life competed in this layout when they raced at Imola. The cars, I have to mention this, it's really important. The cars are from ASR Formula, one of the best guys in the business when it comes to bring quality content in terms of cars, specifically in terms of single-seater cars, to the Studio 397 sim. So this is free content, so this content from the 1991 season is available for free. All the cars in this content are available for free, so all you have to do is visit the asrformula.com website, asrformula.com, where you can download these cars. Amazing, both in terms of the physics, in terms of the sound, and also in terms of the graphics. So getting back to the track layout of Imola, we are just now in that sequence of corners where Rubens Barrichello had a serious incident also in the same weekend of the race that race that took us, Ayrton Senna, and whose qualifying session had taken us also Roland Ratzenberger. And yeah, and this is one of those passionate layouts available in the sim, and well, this content pays tribute to a thing that I have been mentioning quite frequently, which is sim racing is great because it allows us to relive track layouts that can no longer be used in real life. So this is one of those great examples. Yeah, going a little bit wide there. It was tricky, this section of Imola back in the day. It was not a dangerous section, so it was not because it was dangerous that it was replaced, but it was tricky and made this track even more challenging. That and the Tamborello corner, fast corner. Yeah, so in sim racing we can recreate tracks that in real life no longer exist. And in the case of this REIZA Bundle, where a specific number of tracks was released by, for an amount of money you could buy several tracks and also several cars that are available in the Automobilista sim, and that probably will also be available in the Automobilista 2 sim, so you can enjoy that on rFactor 2. And Imola has now 4 different layouts that you can enjoy. You have the first one that was already available when the REIZA Bundle was originally released for the sim. You also have the most recent layout, so the current layout, and now you can enjoy this one, which is the 1988 layout, and another one that we will be showing and mentioning later in this video. So we can, in its full extent in the sim, enjoy all the layout configurations that were at specific times released or developed in real life for this amazing track at Imola. It is challenging and it is graphically really well worked, as all the content available in the REIZA Bundle. This is a work of art graphically, and also it reflects how things were in this season. So as you can see, during this time there was a specific tobacco company that was ruling the advertising, that had all the important spaces in terms of advertising in this competition. And you can see that even the logos, even its logo is present always in the curbs there. If you pay attention to the curbs, the design of the curbs in terms of the painting is the one from that specific tobacco brand. As you all know, later came the restrictions in terms of the lack of tobacco advertising in motorsports or in sports in general, and yeah, you can see it there again. But since that it was harder and harder for the tobacco brands to be present advertising in sports and in motorsports, that all changed. But at the time it was like that, and that's why you see well, you see the logo, but you don't see the specific brand. But there you have it again. There you see it. Yeah, you have the logo, you have the colors, you have the layout, you have the car that was sponsored by that tobacco brand, but you never see the name of the tobacco brand. Of course, you couldn't see it. So this is another layout, amazing layout available, and we of course drove there, and it has the same feeling and the same quality, the same physics that works to perfection as in all the other layouts in this track. And in fact, we already mentioned, and I'm going to crash heavily at Tamburello now. Yeah, all these contents from the REIZA Bundle are in my opinion almost perfect, and the physics works to perfection. And now we are in the other layout, and this is the 2001 layout for Imola, and I'm using one of the McLaren MP4 cars that was recently released by Studio 397. So this car is official content from Studio 397. The other cars are from an official mod from a modding brand, but they are not official content in the sim. This one is, and this track layout is much more adjusted to the performance, to the development in terms of performance in the cars from this series that you all know which series it is. I don't need to mention. As you can see, this car is a simulation of the model used by Mika Hakkinen when he was racing for McLaren, Mercedes, and yeah, and the track is different, so you don't have the chicane or the chicane in the Acqua Minerale section, and you don't have Tamburello. So this was after after 1994. Of course, 2001 is always after 1994, which was that tragic date, and therefore the Tamburello fast corner was replaced by a chicane, and that's what you see here in this track layout. That doesn't go the differences between this layout in 2001 and the current layout are not that big when we compare to the other layouts, of course, of this track from 1972 and 1988. Anyway, you get 4 different options to drive in this track in the sim, and you can have a lot of fun doing that. And you also can now race in your series in those competitions you enjoy. You can almost like perform a series just racing at Imola with 4 different tracks, which is great. So as we always do in our videos, be it reviews, news flashes, presents, or race reports, we always mix cameras available in the sim, both for TV views and for onboard views. We will be in the future starting to create our own visions in terms of cameras, also to release some more ambitious in terms of the editing, of the footage editing, some more ambitious videos, but we are working on that so that when we start we can do that, and we can do it in a good way that you can enjoy, appreciate, and value. So till then we will stick to what we have been doing so far, but On Wheels TV is going to start showing new approaches, because we are strong again in sim racing, where we aim to always be stronger and more focused in terms of content. So we are back just with sim racing, which is our true passion. So that's what we want to go from now. That's where we want to go from now on, and hopefully you enjoy and stay with us in that journey. So as I mentioned, the tracks are amazing to drive. It's great to drive this car in this track, but you can enjoy better the performance of this car, much more developed than the ones in the previous layout, because these were different times in terms of motorsport. 1991 and this season, when this car raced, are different times, with a lot of changes in terms of the performance of the cars, and you obviously can enjoy much more this car in this layout, and even more in the current layout of the track. Yeah, this chicane is amazing. I do miss this chicane. It was much more interesting in terms of the driving Imola with that chicane. So we now go to the final 2 laps. Those 2 laps will be always from this cockpit camera. These were not bad laps at all, especially the final one. Although I was going okay in the first section of the track. I believe I was fast. In the second section, I was also fast, but I believe that I made maybe one mistake. But in the third and final section of the track, although when completing this lap I had performed my fastest lap time from all in this track with this car, but I believe I lost a lot of my good performance in the previous sectors. So then in the final lap I tried to perform even better, and I did, but I did improve a lot. So for instance, yeah, I collected some mistakes, and that forced me to not perform as good as I hoped for in this lap. And as you can see, yeah, it was a good lap time, but the final lap is even better. And yeah, final comments on this: the The track is amazing to drive, the cars also. rFactor 2 keeps delivering great content, officially or through specific partners, such as it is the case with the REIZA Bundle. So the REIZA Bundle is from a brand that develops a different sim, so a competitor of rFactor 2, but it's great when competitor brands can join sometimes efforts to deliver great content to the public, which is the main goal of all these brands, is to please their public. And it's great when two brands get together and deliver content in one sim only, to bring more satisfaction to that sim's audience. So it's great, the content is great, and now with two more layouts. These 4 layouts were already available in Automobilista. Only 2 of them were available on rFactor 2, but with the arrival of these 2, small mistake there, but I was able to manage and not lose time, or almost any time. So now, as I was mentioning, you can enjoy all the 4 layouts that are available of the Imola track in the REIZA Bundle for rFactor 2. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and we will see each other in the next video really soon. Bye bye.